There it is. There it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tellman and Fellman Show, episode 39. And all of us are probably over the age of 39, actually.
Definitely true.
My name is Harris Fellman, and over on the other side of the gentleman in the middle is my partner in crime.
Hey, this is Tellman Knudsen, and welcome to episode 39 of the Tellman and Fellman Show. We are also now live in the Facebook group, Harris.
Great. Well, let me read the intro that we co-wrote. Willie, me, and ChatGPT co-wrote in 1996. I kind of like that. Willie and me and ChatGPT. I did it better the first time. Should have stuck with that. Anyway, in 1996, wow, while serving in the U.S. Air Force, Willie stumbled upon the idea that you can make money over the internet. He somehow heard that. Armed with his ancient computer, as you can imagine, in 96, and a drive for innovation, he launched his first product, which was a cookbook filled with hillbilly recipes from his upbringing on the farm. To his surprise, it actually became an instant hit and propelled him to the world of internet marketing, which is why we're talking to him. Willie's success led to innovations and invitations to speak at seminars, and soon he became a guru of the industry, attending over 100 events worldwide. Today, he focuses on lead generation and the rank and rent model, where he builds, ranks, and rents websites. We'll find out a little bit about that later. Alongside, he also manages his portfolio. He teaches people how to do the same thing with the rank and rent websites. I've known him for being like a master affiliate marketer from back in the day myself. And now he has millions of followers across platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. He continues to inspire marketers with his story-driven approach and authentic connection to his audience. So everybody, please welcome our allergy-ridden Willie Crawford today.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I am feeling the pollen a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we see it a little bit in your eyes. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Remind me where you live, Willie?
I'm in Northwest Florida. I'm about an hour and a half from Mobile, Alabama. So I'm over near the Alabama state line.
So you only got hit by one hurricane in the last 2 weeks?
None at all, actually.
Oh, you didn't get even Helene missed you too.
Helene was heading straight for us at one time, and then it turned. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I just got back from 10 days in Florida doing hurricane relief because my mom and sister live in St. Pete, and they both got crushed. My sister's family and her kids lost all their stuff. My mom lost all her stuff. They're both in Airbnbs and need to find new places to live. Yeah, it's super intense. I got to weather the storm through my first Florida hurricane up in a resort in Orlando. But yeah, hurricanes.
Yeah, I've probably been through about 40 hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones. I spent 10 years in the Pacific, in the Philippines, Japan, Hawaii, and even went through a tsunami in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That killed people.
Yeah. So it says you got started in 1996. You did what speed internet was it back then?
It was slow, very slow. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, me too.
Dial up and
just on the edge of moving from dial up to whatever the next thing was, right?
Yeah, I remember waiting forever for connections. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of 64 and 128K if you were rich. You had the 128K baud, and then we quickly, I think from there that felt like a blip compared to when everybody started getting broadband.
Yeah,
late 90s. Yeah, wow.
Willie, in 1996, I was in college. I was 19, and I was starting my first business, Tellman Salsa. So how old were you in 1996?
I was born in 59, so 60, I don't know. In my 40s, probably.
Cool. Okay.
Not quite. If you were born in 59, you were three years shy of 40.
Okay.
Were you still in the military when you launched your ebook?
Yes. In fact, I was at Headquarters Pacific Air Forces at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii, and they had a network of Macintosh computers, and when the general wasn't watching, I was out surfing the internet. But it took forever to connect. You type in a search and the little dog would be running and it goes to find an answer like half an hour later.
That's right.
Yeah, and 96 was it even graphic yet? Wasn't the web was right about then, right? 94 to 96 is when the web started growing up, I think.
It was graphic, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
slow.
And then what got you, I mean, so that did well, and then over the next, whatever, 10 years.
Well, hold on. I want to know a little bit more about like how this happened. Like, literally, if you're in the Air Force, how do you end up selling a recipe cookbook? Like, how did that actually come to be?
Well, I came across, I think Jim Daniels was the first person I noticed, and he emphasized you needed to build a list and you needed to connect with people on some level. And I thought, well, I know country cooking, so why don't I just make that my audience? And that's what I did. And I still have that list today, actually. I still publish regularly. Yeah.
From the list from 28 years ago.
I'm sure the majority of the people back then dropped off, but I have new people coming on. Yeah.
Wow. That's consistency.
Yeah, and the list was people submitting recipes, their own recipes. So they tune in every day because they want to see their name in print. And then I had ads sprinkled throughout the list. Sorry.
It's okay. So you kind of added a community aspect to it where people were...
And that's how I sold most of my cookbooks, actually.
Was with other people's recipes?
No, those were my recipes, but other people submitted their recipes were what the list was comprised of, so it was self-perpetuating. But so the daily or whatever list was other people's recipes or requests for recipes, but the cookbook was solely my recipes.
Gotcha.
That's so cool. That's one of the things that I found with hypnosis online that I really love is that the problems that hypnosis solves aren't going anywhere. They're permanent issues that the human condition has. And hunger isn't going anywhere either, right? We all eat, we all need to cook, and we all want to try new things. And so I love that you've had this country cooking business where you still create content after almost 30 years because it lasts, the test of time. It's really, really cool.
My thinking was that people, even though they move all over the world, the ones who grew up with that type of cooking miss those types of recipes. So that's why I created that book. And
so do you still do anything with that at this point? Like, are there videos? Is there a membership?
It's still just a printed cookbook. And I'm thinking about creating a healthier version of the cookbook, healthier recipes. Back then they cooked with a lot of ingredients that weren't good for you.
Right. That modern nutrition and modern science doesn't always agree with the same.
Yeah, I mean, we were taught that margarine was good for you when margarine is like plastic.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Right. Cool. So, but do you so you came across Jim Daniels and you followed his?
I copied his model of writing. He wrote like an uncle giving advice to his nephew. Let me show you how it's done. And so I just copied his writing style because I liked it. And Jim and I are still friends.
He had like a ebook web article registry or something. I remember him when
right now he's teaching his daughter internet marketing. The article registry. Charlie Page has no, he didn't have that. Charlie Page has the director of e-zines, I think now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Jim had PLR or something. I don't know. I definitely.
He was his first big product. It wasn't his product, but he was selling just web hosting with a company called Virtualis, which was one that a lot of us got into.
Yeah.
But the web host was very difficult to sell back then. I mean, we hung out on discussion boards and gave each other tips, but whenever somebody sold us an account, they made a big deal out of it.
Yeah. Cool. So and then so right after that, so were you? So it says that you were you started getting invited to speak at stuff. Was that pre-2000?
That was 2002. I hung out on the Warrior discussion forum, the Internet Marketing Warriors, and I was discussing a lot of things. And that was back when they were like 30,000. Now they're in the millions of members. But I was constantly posting, and Dr. Bob Silver, who's a lawyer and a copywriter, Bob noticed that I was basically selling a product other than something on how to make money. You know, everybody else is selling how to make money by selling how to make money, and Bob liked that I was selling a physical product and having success with it. So that's why he invited me to speak at his seminar. And like, I didn't even have slides. I had index cards.
Did you sell anything? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you sell anything at the seminar? Did you sell like how to write a book?
I sold. I don't remember what I sold. I still have the recordings from the seminar because all the speakers got rights to the recordings. But I think I offered coaching. That was an easy one to offer. Yeah. And that seminar was interesting. Ryan Dice was one of the attendees there.
That's right.
Attendees.
And he was, I think, maybe 19.
Back in the day. He got started young, right?
Yeah, he did. He was taking a lot of notes.
Yeah.
And John Reese was there too. In fact, John was the only ticket I sold to the seminar.
Oh, you sold a ticket to John Reese?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Not the only
first $1 million launch day, right?
Yeah, first $1 million day, right?
Yeah, in 18 hours.
Yeah, but that happened later.
That happened later, and what he was doing when I first met him was he was going around to seminars and meeting people and befriending them. So when he launched Traffic Secrets, he reached out to his buddies and said, can you promote it? And I said, can I get a copy? He said, sure. He sent me a copy of a $1,000 product, and I said, sure, I'll promote it. And I made sales.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
What? So good, right? Did John interview a bunch of people in that product?
Yeah, he did.
I thought so. So he went around to a bunch of seminars.
Yeah.
And he made friends with a bunch of a smart dude, intelligent dude, very thoughtful. Like, he doesn't speak unless he really has something thoughtful.
Yeah.
I don't know him super well, but I've always really appreciated his mind. And so he made friends with a bunch of people, realized traffic was important. And then he did a whole bunch of interviews with people on how to drive traffic, and then he reached out to all of his friends and had them promote it.
Yeah, and when he put on a seminar that was $5,000 per person, and he interviewed a lot of people at that seminar. I remember Fred Gleek was one of the attendees, for example, that contributed to this product.
That seminar, the recordings were Traffic Secrets, right?
Right. That was part of it, yeah.
Oh, so he didn't do the record. Oh, part of it. Okay, so some of it was when he went to events, and some of it was his own event.
Yes.
Yep.
Amazing. That's smart.
Yep.
Yeah. Tellman and I are teaching a course on doing virtual summits by interviewing experts and selling their product at the end of the weekly webinar, but building a big list, building a big responsive list. It's something that Tellman and I have done ourselves a number of times, so it's kind of reminiscent of it. It's another way to leverage, interviewing other experts.
Yes. I've been in a number of interview products.
Yeah. I think you were on mine as well.
I think, Willie, you were one of the original List Crusade interviews, weren't you? Didn't I interview you for List Crusade back in the day?
I think so. I've been interviewed by so many people.
Yeah, I know.
It's always an honor, but the model was you interview people and then you turn around and ask them to promote the product too. Yeah.
Right.
Invested in the product.
Right. So fast forward, right? So yeah. What are some of the other like high and low points that you hit along?
Low points was just jumping from product to product, project to project. I was an affiliate marketer, like you said. This allergies getting the best of me, but I jumped around from thing to thing. After that first seminar, I liked it so much that I decided to put on my own seminar. So December of 2002, I attended a seminar. April of 2003, I hosted my first seminar.
Okay.
And at that seminar, invited Stephen Pierce. John Reese was an attendee, but he wasn't a speaker. Frank Guerin, Carl Galletti, Tony Blake, who was interesting.
Wow.
Tony doesn't like to fly, and so he said he was going to be there, but half of my friends said he's not going to show up because he don't like flying. But he showed up, and he was the entertainment actually after hours. He put on a magic show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I started doing magic in the last few years. I haven't done any at any marketing shows, but that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
There was a time where like there was almost very often there was a magician or some sort of a performer
Yeah.
that was as the MC, at a whole bunch of marketing seminars where there was like that level, an extra level of flair and performance from the host. Like I remember several where there were.
You asked about low points, though. I hosted one seminar in Pensacola, Florida. I did another one on Okaloosa Island, and after both of those had very low attendance. So that was sort of a low point because I discovered that it's very difficult to get people out of their seats and into a seminar. It was back then, and that the seminar host usually had to sell most of the seats. You invited certain people to speak with a large audience, expected them to bring a lot of people, but they rarely did. My first seminar, Stephen Pierce brought half of the attendees.
Stephen brought half of the attendees.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the interesting things is that when you do these types of collaborative events where there are multiple speakers and often those speakers are also promoting,
right,
whether it's a virtual event or a live seminar environment. And one of the really cool parts is that you end up finding a few things. You discover who does and doesn't follow through on what they say they're going to do. And if you can not be reactive to that and realize that some people just aren't going to do it and it's okay.
Right.
And not freak out about it. That's good personal growth too. And then some people are going to do what they say they're going to do, but they're going to get lackluster, mediocre results.
Right.
And then a couple of people are going to be like your superstars, right? They're going to be your super affiliates. They're going to be your super speakers. Like you might do an event and the whole thing kind of bombs and you're like, ugh. But then the next one, you have 3 or 4 home runs, and so it's you really get to learn who to work with collaboratively long-term and who is cool for you to collaborate with and where there's synergy and where everybody is kind of playing the same game.
I also discovered that, we always recorded the event, so we thought we'd have a product to sell afterwards, but those recordings usually didn't sell that well. I watched Carl Galletti do a number of super conferences, and he bundled the recordings from 5 or 6 conferences to offer those it's bonuses when people bought affiliate products from, so that's how he used a lot of the products. But the very few of the recordings that I did from about 5 or 6 seminars sold that well. I did have one person who wanted a license, and so I sold him a license for thousands of dollars. And then he sold them via direct mail in the UK. So he did quite well.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so you weren't able to sell it directly so much, but then so people that couldn't, travel probably felt that there was more value to them over in the UK. I live in the UK right now, actually.
Okay, yeah, he had I guess he had, he still does direct mail. In fact, he just put on a course on how to do direct mail. But no, that's a different person. Yeah, I know quite a few guys over in the UK, although half their names aren't popping into my tiny brain right now.
I think the allergies got you a little extra foggy. I feel your pain. I see your tears coming from your eyes from the allergies, and
I just wanted to say I know you're you're not only a legitimate veteran, but you're also a marketing veteran. And I'll tell you that over the years, trying to teach students how to promote their own business and how to grow. One of the big, now that live streaming has been a thing for quite a few years now, but before that it was public speaking or doing teleseminars or even doing webinars. People get so nervous about how they look or whatever. And just wanted to say I appreciate the level of experience and confidence that you have, that even though you're like blowing snot all over the place and you're totally willing to do an interview and it's not a big deal. And so I just like, I think it's a really good lesson to any budding entrepreneurs who let vanity get in the way of like getting the job done, or just like, or connecting with your people. I appreciate, I was noticing that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you wonder how bright you should have your lights and things like that.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to let those things get in the way of actually turning on the camera and go live, right? For anybody, you have experience, and so it's just a good reminder to like.
Yeah, I'm on Zoom, some recorded Zoom meeting every day, so it's, I don't know. And I have coaching class that I do Zoom coaching with too.
Oh, so how does your Zoom recording every day process work? What is that? What do you do with that?
Oh, when I schedule well, it's just for the students most of the times. And so I'll do a coaching session where they'll talk about a problem or whatever. And I record it so they don't need to take notes, and then I just give them access to recording. I don't do anything else with those recordings.
Are you using AI for them as well, like Fathom or something like that?
No.
Yeah, those are really, people are starting to do that, where like when you do your coaching, you have Fathom is one of the popular ones, and it watches the video, it records the video, but then it also it immediately makes a transcript of it, and it immediately well, even I think even Zoom has like an AI feature, but then but this other one immediately gives like a task list or a to-do list based on the conversation. So it's pretty nice.
So
something to check into. Sounds like you're not really dipping too much into AI.
I am, but I'm learning slowly.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT more than anything else right now.
Yeah.
Willie, do you want a suggestion on this? Because if you're doing a daily video, like, I got a pretty cool suggestion for you.
Sure.
Okay, especially if it's all like coaching content related, right? Yeah. So check this out. So there's this great tool that we've used a little bit, but we haven't nearly used it to its max. Like we don't have it as part of our process yet.
Right.
But it's called Opus. And is it Opus Clips.pro or something? Harris, are you checking?
I'll check, yeah.
Cool. So it's called Opus, and its tagline is
just opus.pro.
Opus.pro. Okay. And its tagline is, we turn one long video into 10 short viral video clips.
Okay. I've seen the software that will take a podcast or whatever, chop it into pieces at logical words. Yeah.
So for your coaching program, is it a marketing coaching program of some sort?
Yeah. Well, my coaching is, I say to the students, I've got 27 years of experience. I've done everything from product creation to speaking to, you name it, affiliate marketing. And so I ask them what they want to be coached on, basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just want a sounding board. And a lot of them, it's difficult to get them to do anything,
So, but what's it called?
I just call it one-on-one coach. I don't have a name for it.
Cool. So do you have a sales letter for it?
Not right now, no. Okay. I actually don't want to do that much more coaching. I mean, I had a coaching program that at one time I charged like $50,000 for business owners, brick and mortar business owners mainly, that wanted to take it to the next level. They were already making a couple million and didn't know how to use the internet to leverage the internet. So that was for them. I don't really want to do that much more coaching. So, that's why I set my price where I do.
All right. Well, maybe all right. I'm gonna throw it out there for anyone who's doing regular videos for our viewers, and maybe this will apply to you. Maybe it will apply to something else. But like, if you're creating daily content like this, regular, consistent content, and you've got yourself on the schedule and you're not screwing around, you make it part of your day, and part of your
right.
Record that video, upload it to Opus. Okay, use Opus, and what it does is it automatically pulls the clips from your video that are the most likely to go viral or get
Okay.
shared given today's environment on the primary social platforms that do shorts and reels like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, right?
Right.
And so it gives you a bunch of clips that are between like 45 seconds and a minute and a half.
Okay.
And it takes a horizontal video and it makes it vertical. Okay. And it throws the subtitles on there. And then it rates all of your video clips, like it gives it like from A to D. It rates, or A to F, it rates them on 5 different parameters,
Categories.
you know, and then you take the video, and it does it in 5 minutes. You
Okay.
upload your video. 5 minutes later, you have your videos, and then you can schedule them as a social media scheduler. So you can schedule them to go out as short video clips. So if you had a sales letter for the coaching program and you did want to do more of that, then the content that you create for the coaching program becomes the social ads, the social posts that people like and respond to. That cause them to want to join your coaching program. So you're giving them a taste test for free. You're giving them a little piece of cheese on the toothpick.
And I'm doing that somewhat with my rank and rent training. I put out short videos on different aspects of that.
Well, you know what? The reality is that I do something every Monday called Train with Tellman at noon. And I do exactly this. And I hadn't thought of doing exactly what I just shared with you with my own thing. Like, so if nothing else, I'll do this myself. But if you're creating daily content for any kind of market or niche as fulfillment, you know, like it's a great way of then repurposing it. And right now, shorts and the short videos are a great way to get engagement on a bunch of the social platforms. That'll change over time, right? But while that's kind of the primary thing, this is a great way of repurposing that existing content in order to grow it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder, you mentioned that it makes a horizontal vertical. I think I played with this a little bit with Descript, and our format currently might have been wonky for it. Like, I think it would like put like in the middle of the two of us or something, or it would only.
It's weird. Yeah, I found with Opus, sometimes it gets a little weird, but it actually, because they're like these short clips, it's kind of a little bit like artistic.
It depends on how. I mean, it was like the stuff that I saw was like half of your face and half of Willie's face. I don't think that's artistic. I think.
Well, I mean, let's go. Let's see what gets shared. Who knows?
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, so you mentioned the rank and rent. How did you did you stumble onto that? Like, what got you starting to do that? And explain maybe what it is.
Well, I asked myself, what product is Google and Facebook and all those other platforms actually selling? They're selling advertising. So they're selling eyeballs, and businesses are always going to need advertising, and I had a friend, Kathleen Gage. She mentioned when she first got started online that she was selling advertising or selling to businesses, and that it was a steady thing for her. And so I look at it, and I'm in several organizations that are business owners, and they all need lead generation. So I thought, why not do that long term, and stop jumping around. The business owners have budgets, they set aside money for advertising as opposed to chasing after opportunity seekers,
Yeah, people that are just trying to learn how to make money.
Yeah.
So what is Rank and Rent? You create a website on a like what sort of business clients are there?
Doctors, lawyers, dentists, plumbers, exterminators, all kinds of people,
So it doesn't matter the like their ticket price. We talked to somebody that did something similar where they're like, well, I mostly focus on, somebody that has a product like a roofer, it's going to be $10,000-$15,000. You're the way you do it, which I think that was it Rory? I believe it was as that they pitched them on like more ad services, but I think they also get into Kyle Battis. Yeah.
Okay.
So, thanks. Where he also ends up setting up the sites for them, but it's not like, don't think it's quite the same model as you.
Well, I basically collect information on the business owner's business, and then I'll build the site specifically for some businesses. But I also build sites that can be rented to anyone. I'll just pick a location and a niche, like some subdivision, Bronx exterminator, or whatever,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't put the company's name specifically on it.
If they contract or agree to rent the site in advance, that's the best way to do it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, you can just build a site based on a location or niche. Google used to, no, they still prefer that you have a physical location, and there are companies that sell fake addresses and things like that too. But Google will catch that now sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Tellman just put this across the bottom. I guess we should mention that if anybody's watching and they have any sort of marketing question, internet marketing question, you've got somebody who's been in it since before all of us, really.
Yeah,
And
Willie
as he
started
said in his
online
coaching,
in 1996.
Yeah, 96.
yeah.
Boom.
And as he mentioned, like with his coaching students, though, they can ask him anything,
Yeah.
whatever they're interested in, and he usually knows something about it. But it sounds like you probably would guide people to maybe don't do the product,
Yeah.
product launch every month, right?
Well, I've seen so many things, and so many people make mistakes that when somebody tells me their plan, if I've seen that done before, I can say don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I watched one guy who did a product launch, and he had this wanted poster done, and he showed all these pictures of affiliate marketers, super affiliates, and he offered a reward for anybody who could talk to a super affiliate, one of those people on the poster, to promote the product. And so a lot of people went out and got their friends to sign up to promote the product, and he paid the reward, but the people who signed up to promote didn't promote, most of them. And so
Just like Tellman said earlier, you find out who doesn't really promote. So yeah, I was following some like trend where people were paying per lead, like for a launch, like they would pay 50 cents or $1 per lead, regardless of making a sale or whatever. So if somebody opted in, I paid them $1. Well, good way to get scammed is to pay a bunch of affiliates $1 for every, lead that they send you.
Well, it's a good way to get scammed unless
you protect yourself.
Well, you could protect yourself, or one way of protecting yourself is to have really good, solid, trusting, long-term relationships that you've built over years with people, right? Like or
you require that the leads converted a certain percentage has to be in line with the average, so they can't go out and sit on some street corner with a laptop in some third world country and get 1,000 people to sign up,
Right.
Oh, I wish it was real people. That would have been a step up from the couple thousand fake, emails that got put in. I mean, I didn't pay out on those, you figure that out, but still I had to figure it out.
Yeah, I watched a network marketing company retire quickly, which was owned by John Reese's uncle, Kelly Reese. He paid a quick action bonus to people when they signed up somebody. And there was one person who signed up like a couple thousand people, and none of those people produced any results, And so Kelly went out of business,
Right. Yeah, you got to be careful about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Willie, you have the How to Rank and Rent websites. I mean, is this your primary focus for where you're going in the future, or where is your head at, like day to day right now? What are you working on?
I just turned 65, and I'm thinking about. Well, I want to build out a portfolio of about 1,000 websites that rent for anywhere from $500 to $2,000, and that'll be my portfolio, which I've already started building on. And then my rank and rent trading is 1997. And I just update the course once a year, and spend a lot of my time just sitting on the beach someplace.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's the rank part? Do you they all get ranked on with Google?
Google's a the big gorilla, and so I teach, like Google looks for authority. They want an expertise. So you build a site that's if it's an exterminator site, the site needs a lot of content on different problems that exterminators deal with. The rats and the roaches and raccoons and everything. And then Google will see that site's about pest control.
Yeah.
And so you can't just have a site that's all like an affiliate site. You can't have an affiliate site that's all reviews. Google won't rank those very high. But there's other content on the site too, and there's a balance. Then Google will rank those affiliate review sites higher. So it's studying how Google's treating sites. And I have a lot of friends who they do a lot of testing.
Yeah.
They'll put together 10 control sites, and then they'll start making little changes on some of them.
So you create these sites, and then you rent them to people for the business owners who then get to basically get the traffic.
Yeah, I have lots of clients who are paying $1,000 a month, and plastic surgeon, or a cosmetic surgeon, or somebody like that. Just one or two clients a month, it makes it worth it to them.
Right.
A dentist,
And how do you go about I mean, and if this is too much of the secret sauce, feel free not to answer the question. But how do you go about teaching your students how to create all this content? Is it AI driven? Is it research driven? Do they find an expert? How do they create all the content for these sites?
I'm teaching AI right now because Google doesn't penalize AI as long as it's good content, content that the person reads and gains value from. Google hates junk, but so AI is the easy way to do it, or you could outsource it.
Yeah, well, I was just curious if AI was part of the conversation for you, or
yeah, AI is the easy way to do it.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the interview,
and it's also nice because AI, like I was thinking about, like my question was going to be, well, what happens if you have an exterminator in the Bronx and an exterminator in Port St. Lucie, Florida? Like some of that content could be the same, but probably Google might see if it's too much the same, and they might not like that. So AI might help.
Tell the AI to modify it 10% of whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like AI can help with that quite a bit. Yeah, go ahead, Tellman. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of the interview, you mentioned Jim Daniels, and you mentioned that he said it was important to build a list.
Yes.
And I was wondering, I mean, you've been part of the direct response marketing community online since I entered the scene, and yeah, I mean, all the early conferences I went to, I remember seeing you there, and we slowly met over time. We're not super close or anything, but right. We have a lot of the same friends. And I'm curious about how important to you these days in your business and in what you teach people, building a list is or isn't at this point. Where do you stand with that? What is list building and
Well, I at times don't want certain people on my list, or I want to get my message out. So I'll go on Facebook and offer a free PDF on some topic, and I'll just give them the download, because in the PDF I have links to pet projects. So like I just released one on the 100 highest paying niches for lead generation. Which GPT helped me with. I asked, what niches are people paying lots of money for, and how much are they paying for a lead? And so ChatGPT spit out 100, and I compiled it into a PDF and offered it for free. But that was to bring people to me who were interested in lead generation. It ties into my rank and rent. Because ranking and rent, the business doesn't really care about the rank. What they care about is leads, So that's what I'm really selling.
Right.
So
and then so what do? You basically they pay you 1,000 or 500 or 2,000, whatever it is, and that's not based on how many leads get delivered, right. But you give a range that they're expecting, so that you know that they're going to be happy with, $5 a lead or $10 a lead. So you know, that's kind of the metric that you hold it up against. And if they get more leads, then it's still the same price and they're
I
happy.
set realistic expectations. They ask me how soon can they expect leads and how many, and I've learned not to. I've learned to be conservative because otherwise you get refunds.
Yeah, it could happen really fast, but 2 or 3 months, it takes some time to build up.
Right, right. I mean, I have a client who runs a pest control company in Ohio, and he's got the authority because his family's been in the business for like about 100 years, and the site's got all kinds of content, and I'm looking at his pre-existing site saying, wow, it'd be hard for me to outrank his site, but he wanted me to bring in additional customers, and I show him the metrics, and he's happy,
Yeah,
oh, that's great. And then do they so are they just lead based, meaning they get a name, email, phone number, whatever filter there is, and then most of them have a process to follow up or something like that? Or does that also go into an email like autoresponder or email broadcast series, not series, but
they can do what they want with the lead, but I don't follow up the lead,
because they're all about, like, the people that are coming to these sites, they're leads. They're like, we have a problem to solve right now.
I have a leaky roof. The hurricane ripped my roof off.
Yeah.
I need to find a roofing company.
Yeah. So and hopefully once you fix my roof, I better not need another roofing company.
Right. Or I need an exterminator. I've got roaches, and that exterminator knows he's going to have to go back out several times a year. So that lead's worth a lot more than just the one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like you're still very actively coming up with lead magnets, putting squeeze pages together, doing social media posts, and generating leads for your business. And you teach your students the importance of generating leads with their websites as well. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to build a list? In your experience now, again, after almost 30 years in the game,
I still think the list is the most valuable asset in the business. The list and goodwill with the list, because when I look at who's buying my products, if I throw out a $2,000 product, I'll notice instantly that certain people that have been up are with me forever. They'll buy it without even giving it a second thought.
Yeah.
So
you've built a relationship with them over the years.
Yeah. So the list is important, but I give out a lot of. I watch people like Marlon Sanders who give out some things for free. He doesn't necessarily want you on his list if you're not his ideal customer, because you're just wasting resources. So you can offer freebies too. He does that, and I watch him. Well, Marlon and I are close friends, and so we talk about a lot of things too. And I have half of his products.
Yeah. That's a lot of products if you've got half of them.
Yeah. Great. With your experience and working with so many people over so many years and seeing so many people in the industry rise and fall, perhaps rise again, what's your biggest advice to a budding or struggling internet entrepreneur who's trying to break free, who's trying to make it happen, but hasn't quite had a taste of it yet? And what's your message? What's your biggest advice for somebody who's trying to figure this stuff out?
Go big ticket.
Okay, all right, I like it. All right, go on.
Because you have to sell an awful lot of $7 ebooks, to make any money, and those inexpensive affiliate products, they're partial solutions. And so if you offer a complete solution, my avatar for my rank and rent is generally older people or older military people close to retiring. They're looking to build a steady income, and if you build a portfolio of rented websites, that's like having a portfolio of real estate properties, except that it costs you much less, and the money's there month after month. And with the rank and rent model, if one person is renting your website in a location or Bronx exterminator and he stops renting, there's a dozen others just waiting to rent that site that's getting all that traffic, So
you know, Will,
Yeah, and to be clear, when you say high ticket, oh, sorry, Tellman, go ahead.
No, go hit it, Harris.
I was just going to say, when you say high ticket, in your case, you're like, oh, well, it's 500 a month. Yeah, that's 6,000 a year, everybody. That's a high ticket. That 500 itself is considered, probably mid ticket product or service, but selling to a business, to make 6,000 a year on a single, setup for them is definitely. Yeah, it's great, and hopefully it's more than a year. And like you said, now you have that asset, kind of like it's a real estate asset, and you're able to re-rent it. So
you can flip it.
Yeah.
You can take a property, and once you have a record of a consistent income or proof of income and proof of traffic, you can go to someplace like Flippa, and there are people that will pay 40 to 50 times the monthly income for that site or that business. There's a lot of sites that sell businesses, but they facilitate the selling of websites or businesses.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's cool.
Willie, it is actually really cool. When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, that sounds boring," in my head. And
sometimes boring is the best.
No, but hear me out. As you've been talking, I've been like, "Wow." It's like going into real estate, except without the crazy investment, and it's we haven't talked to anybody else that's doing anything like this, really. And
there were people doing it, but as Google kept changing the rules, it got more and more difficult. Once Google started sending postcards or calling people to verify the addresses and stuff like that, a lot of people dropped out.
Right.
And that's when I stepped up my game. It's like there has to be a way to do it. So figure out a solution to the problem.
Yeah,
I like it because it's like it's such a reliable business model.
It is.
Like it's a business model that's been around it's literally real estate for internet advertising. It's awesome. Like I really like the idea. Like, do you have a webinar for this that converts? Because I feel like you can.
I don't. I should put one together, and I've been thinking about it.
Dude, what are you waiting on? Like, this is such a great thing.
Yeah,
and you sell it for $2,000.
Yes.
And is there an ongoing coaching program after that?
There isn't, but I as an upsell offer. A done-for-you site that I just sell to a business or to students. They don't want they learn how to build a site, but it's not an easy process, and so somebody will say, "Well, do it for me." So that's an upsell.
If you're doing,
and then what about selling it? Do you also teach how to reach out to businesses and sell it? Is there do you have the material for that as well? Yeah.
I mean, if you have the $2,000 course, you could totally put how long does it take the average person who goes through the course to go through the course?
A month, maybe.
Great. So that give them 1 month free of your daily coaching calls, and then have an upsell where for $249 a month or something, they can do ongoing coaching and get their first month free, and then after that month, and
do group coaching though. Do group coaching
with the Zoom call. And then sell this as the webinar. This is I know you've been doing it for a long time, but I haven't thought about it ever. And so I guess I'm enthusiastic, but this is a really cool, I really like that your audience is retired military. You're retired military.
Right. So I understand.
Right. In this case. Right. So people are who were in your position are inspired by your story and want to follow what you're doing now.
Well, and I mentioned the other part of the market is seniors. See, the military, retired military or retiring military, and the seniors, they all have incomes. So they have, Social Security and
Right.
all that, or the
Yeah,
military.
and actual legit. So if you're focusing on them as your customers anyway, man, you could crush. You, I mean, this would all. I mean, frankly, this would also be extraordinary as a as an automatic client style offer. Are you familiar with Alan Sultanic and automatic
Yeah,
client?
yeah.
Nothing like that. If you created the same model as like a low front end that ascended to like a $5,000 back end, which would be what you have right now, it could do really well. I mean, if you're interested in putting the effort into it, you know, like it'd take a lot of work, but
Yeah, Alan, he's in a Facebook group called Nothing Held Back.
yeah, well, that is his Facebook group. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
the best marketing Facebook group that's out there right now, as far as
Yeah, it's probably it's a definitely really good go-to Facebook group. We're in there all the time for sure. It's
well,
where
But
we've met
yeah,
some new people that way.
you know, when I look at building these real estate properties, I also look at as an exit plan selling them. You know, if I've got a site that I've rented steadily for a year, 2 years, I've got proof of the income.
yeah,
It's no brainer for a business owner to buy it. You know,
Yeah.
or even I don't know. I talk to doctors and dentists, you know, and I explain what I do, and they go, "How do I get into that?" You know, I'm like, "Well, you're a
right.
doctor, you're making all this money," but they want some
Well,
side
they're
income.
making all their money, but they don't have leverage though, Willie. That's the difference.
Right.
Is like they're still trading time for dollars, even if it's a bunch of dollars, right? And with this, like the reality is, you stack up the rental income, and and pretty soon you have after a few years you have 100 of these things going, and you're making, however, $100,000 a month or whatever it is, and like happy day, right? Like, but you already put in the work, and now,
It's not instant, but you're making more in a month than some people make, and most people make in a year.
That's the other brilliant part about focusing on retired or retiring veterans and military, is that they have proven that they have a consistent lifestyle and that they'll stick to something long term. If they've decided that they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. And so a lot of people don't have any of that structured discipline, and I would expect the most retired military have a solid dose of that, right?
Yeah, I have clients that are reservist or active duty military, and some retired. Yeah, so I focus on that market because I understand them.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too as well. That you would hope that they'd be more disciplined as students as well.
Yeah, because
I've always found the students that I love the most are competitive athletes and personal trainers. Like they were competitive athletes in college, and often went on to become personal trainers because they tend to be driven, consistent, willing to put in the hard work, and they're just willing to put in the reps. They're willing to do the training to get good at something, and most people just aren't willing to do that.
And I actually like athletes. I just don't, you have to pick a market, an avatar.
And ideally you're part of the market, and you can really, you embody it,
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. But seriously, dude, please.
I was going to ask, how do you feel? How do you feel? So I think you're in a good side of it, but I think that search is going to change because of ChatGPT.
It is changing.
Yes.
But I guess people I don't go to ChatGPT and say, find me an exterminator near me.
And ChatGPT, it's older data. I think some of the other GPT
language models,
they use current data. So I mean, every day I ask ChatGPT a question or two.
Yeah. I mean, Google is returning AI results on top. So I don't know what they show up for when you're looking for a specific service. But if I ask Google kind of a question, it's giving me this, AI result.
It can generate its own answers. Yeah.
But they do at least show where their answers came from. That's been some like ChatGPT barely shows where their answers come from.
You can ask it for citations, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ask a medical question, it's probably going to scrape it from PubMed.com, for example.
Right. But if you ask for a doctor in your area, like they got to go to Google to find
it's all going to continue to blend together, and then there are. I mean, Google's obviously been the monster for a long time. It won't always be monster. It won't always be King Kong or whatever.
Or maybe it'll still be King Kong, but there will be a Godzilla on the scene.
But then there's also always the major brands. There's always the Heinz 57 and the Coca-Cola, and then there's always the like small boutique, private, higher quality, nuanced. And that will happen with AI too, right? Like there's going to be the mega things that everybody uses, and then there's going to be like the specialty.
Well, the secret there actually is to get in with the government. I mean, the internet and Google and Facebook and a lot of other big tech companies came out of military funding. I mean, I mean, Google Maps, that's from space shuttle technology,
Right.
And a lot of it was CIA projects, that, and even like Elon Musk right now with his rocket stuff, his number one customer is the government, the U.S. government.
Right, of course. Yep. Interesting. So, so Willie, your big advice is go high ticket so you can start making some more money.
Commit to actually learning your topic too, though. So many people are jumping from topic to topic to topic. I've gone to seminars and where one person will be speaking and other people in the audience will be listening, but other speakers will be listening. And then the next seminar I go to, that speaker, one of the speakers was teaching the other person the topic, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that comes back to integrity to some degree too, is rather than just chasing the trend or chasing the fad, actually decide to get good at something and then help other people get good at it. Like,
and just look at the marketplace. I mean, businesses are always going to need new customers, and they'll pay for leads. Insurance companies and everybody pays for leads.
All right, guys. Well, I can say that like if you are retired military or in near that zone, and you want a reliable, steady way to consistently build up your recurring income over time, it sounds like you might want to pay attention to what Willie has to say at how to rank and rent websites.com. I've known Willie since since probably the first seminar I went to, or at least one of them. And like, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about you, Willie, which is definitely not the case of a lot of internet marketing guys out there. You're exceptionally like humble and like a really down to earth, awesome guy. I really appreciate you being on the show. This has been awesome.
Yeah, we're sorry we had to pull you through with you're tearing up and
That's right.
and from all of your orifices are leaking, but
I
hope all the ones we can see, But I appreciate you being here. We can probably wrap it up. We're pretty close to the hour. I want to say too, even if you're not you, if the audience, even if you're not retired military, and the idea of treating a website like real estate makes sense to you to resell the space, if you will, to other businesses, which is it sounds pretty simple. I'm sure it's not necessarily easy. Nobody's saying that, but from a business model standpoint, put up website for people, and then you still keep the ownership. You rent it out to them. They pay you for that, and
you go to a site like
and you go to a site like Flippa, and you flip it after you've proven that works. That exact website is making money.
Yeah, people are making, some of them, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there are sites that actually sell for millions of dollars, with a nice, steady flow of customers and proven sales record. Why not?
Yeah.
That's cool. Really cool. I feel like I want to go through it and implement it. Like, it seems like it's the opposite of the get rich quick scheme. Like it's like make more money steadily as each year passes by like consistently committing to something that's going to work for you long term. Like, I
Right,
love
right.
Yeah,
You know,
much
really
like
good.
real estate. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
Very cool. Well, do either of you have anything you want to add? Willie, you have any? I really appreciate you being here. I know you're in a little bit of allergy pain, but I
Not
we
paying,
appreciate
just
it.
wanting to make the video less disgusting.
That's right.
But no, nothing else. Just once you commit to, once you find a niche that you like, and it's like me. I'm at 65. I'm semi-retired. I mean, I'm going to build a house in the
Right.
Philippines. Start the building it over the holiday season. I'm going to travel to the Philippines and start construction. So I'll have houses in numerous places, and I'll consider myself semi-retired, and I can run my businesses from my laptop,
Yeah.
or virtual assistants,
Right. Right. Or both.
Yeah,
Definitely both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, that's I
All
mean that's
right.
kind of the whole internet. That's the whole point of the internet business lifestyle, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I mean, I'm proof of it as well. I lived in Costa Rica, Spain, and now I live in London. So, you can definitely be anywhere you want with an internet business.
Yeah, you mentioned the internet lifestyle. I reached out to Jeff Walker I wanted to do an interview for his last product launch, formula launch, and his brother John said, "Well, Jeff runs a lifestyle business, so he doesn't want to do too many interviews, doesn't want to commit too many, but he'll do one with you, if you can get enough people on the interview." But he used that term. He has a lifestyle business,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here, Willie. We
Thank you, guys.
appreciate it. Tellman.
Yeah, awesome as always. And Willie, if you ever want to do a webinar for this thing, I would totally do it with you if you want
Okay.
a hand. I really like the idea. If you do it on your own if you want, but if you want to team up or something, I'm down.
Oh, I'm definitely plan on doing it. I've spent a lot of time studying Russell Brunson, Jason Fladlin, and their structure for their webinars, how they run them, because they do some very effective webinars.
How do
Yeah,
how do you like a little pressure, Willie?
Like commit to doing one.
How do you feel about actually making a commitment around that?
Yeah, I actually need to do that. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me help you right now. It's October 14th, 2024, 11:10 a.m. Monday. When's this webinar going to happen? What day?
It'll take me about a month to
Date
develop
and time, Willie. Date and time.
Yeah. November, by the 15th of November.
Boom. All right, November. Why don't we say November 15th or earlier?
Or earlier.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let me know how I can help you make that happen.
Excellent.
And that sounds great.
Thanks, Tellman. Yeah.
You're welcome. That'll be good. Yeah, use Brunson's system. It works great. And and any way I can be of assistance, I would love to help you or light a fire under you or whatever needs to happen, because I think it'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we need a fire lit under.
Oh, I know I do.
Yeah.
Well, I have one right now, but it's more of I got to go to the bathroom. So let's wrap this baby up.
Fire out.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.